It's the start of great things, I think, for Oshkosh. And I've lived here all my life and, wouldn't live anywhere else.
There is some momentum that's going on right now that we cannot stop. If we just keep rolling, we're on the map and it's just going to continue to grow.
For us to continue to progress, we have to really start thinking about the types of people that we are attracting and retaining in our community.
We need to create a place that people want to stay and want to live to get that talent.
I don't want the progress to stop. I want people to think moving forward, like how can we be more progressive?
As long as we continue to move forward, we're moving in the right direction.
We have so much going on. I don't know that we give ourselves credit for all the good things that's happening.
Oshkosh always has something going on all over the city, so just having all of those things to do, it makes Oshkosh a destination.
There is kind of that Midwest nice and the Wisconsin nice, but there's Oshkosh nice. And I think people are saying, we want you to come to Oshkosh now. We are ready for you.
Wow, what an exciting year for Oshkosh. How about those Titans? Andy? And the Oshkosh North Spartans? Stan? What an exciting weekend out of 52 in Oshkosh. On behalf of the Oshkosh Common Council, City Manager Mark Roloff, city staff, and most importantly, the people that call this great place home, welcome to the 2018 Oshkosh State of the City. We are so happy that you are here tonight to learn more about the exciting things that are going on in the city of Oshkosh, what the future holds, and how we can continue working together to make Oshkosh an even greater place to live, work, play, and learn. The State of the City is more than just an annual event to showcase our activities, projects, and future goals. It's an opportunity for everyone to come together and celebrate our collective efforts at the local government level. We will also highlight where we plan to go in the coming year. We recognize that everyone plays an important role in this process as citizens, community leaders, city employees, government officials, elected officials, volunteers, all facets of our dynamic community. I'd like to take a minute to introduce my fellow council members, so please stand when I call your name. Deputy Mayor Steve Herman. Council members Deb Allison Osby, Tom Peck Jr., Caroline Pansky, and Jake Kraus. Lori Palmery was unable to make it this evening. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for your hard work and dedication the past 12 months on behalf of the citizens of Oshkosh. You can clap for yourselves. And of course, we'd like to thank you, our friends and neighbors, for being here. Without your participation and continued support, there would be no State of the City program. So it means a great deal to all of us that you chose to be here and to be involved and take part in your community's exciting future. We have a great evening planned. In just a few moments, City Manager Mark Roloff will deliver his 2018 State of the City address. Following his presentation, we will honor several individuals with our Citizen Service Awards, their ongoing efforts in serving our various boards and commissions. In addition, we will take time to also recognize some organizations with our Community Partner Awards for their work on projects that have had a significant positive impact on Oshkosh. And of course, as you look around the room, you also have our City Department Expo. This is a great chance for you to meet city employees and talk to them about their projects, activities, and initiatives for the future. On a final note, I want to stress again that for our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Please consider serving on a board or commission, and don't hesitate to talk to city staff, council members, or current board and commission members about how to get involved. And thank you again, and please enjoy tonight's State of the City event. And here's your city manager, Mark Roloff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to clarify a video there earlier. There was a guy doing a reverse slam dunk, and you didn't see the front of his face. That was not me making that dunk at the arena. You didn't have to laugh that hard over there, please. 2017 was a big year for Oshkosh, wasn't it? Give yourselves a hand. This was a wonderful year. But that's not why we're here tonight. We are not here to talk about 2017 because we've heard a lot from you about 2017 and what a success it was. This is not about resting on our laurels. This is tonight about 2018 and what's next. And you're going to help us fill in the blanks. The input that you're going to see on tonight's video vignettes are from you telling us what you want to see next. And that's really what we have to keep working on. It's all about the future. We went out into the community and asked people how they think things are going. And certainly there are two big things in 2017 that everybody knows about, we're going to talk about. But more importantly, what people want to see for the future of Oshkosh. And that's the focus of tonight. There were two big issues in 2017, and I don't even need to do a guess of the audience. Obviously, what was that? Oshkosh Corporation was one. You got to do it in the order I have it on mine. We wanted to talk to people about what's next, but when people started talking about Oshkosh Corp, they couldn't stop talking about what it really meant right now and what it's doing for our city. So rather than just deny everybody the opportunity to talk about it, let's hear what everybody had to say.
Oshkosh Corp decided to stay here, make this a corporate office. When you have a major corporation that looks at our community and says, well, we're worth staying here and investing in this community, that sends a great message.
Especially in view of what's happening up in the Appleton area with all the paper mills that they're losing and the jobs that they're losing, we could not afford to lose Oshkosh Corp.
It's good overall to keep a major manufacturer. You know, there's 400 or 500, well-paying jobs that are going to remain in Oshkosh and not go elsewhere, and it's great for the community.
Not only are they building it for 450 people, but for 600 and some odd, because they know that there's going to be expansion, which speaks highly for our community.
My wife and I love to ride bicycles along the waterways, so we're very excited about the Oshkosh Corporation development on the former Lakeshore Golf Course and hope there will be some wonderful additions to our bike paths there.
When the Oshkosh Corp starts their construction along the Oshkosh Avenue corridor there from the river on out, that area is just a prime candidate for redevelopment.
It's not going to be easy, and it's probably not going to be cheap. But what it's going to do is eventually bring all of these people to Oshkosh for all of these amazing things that we in Oshkosh already appreciate.
The growth in the last year has been great. It would be great to see a continuation of all of that, more community partnerships, and just really keep revitalizing the city and make sure that Oshkosh is a place that people want to come and stay and live and work and play and all of those fun things.
Yeah. The council's already working on what's next with this, and a lot of it has to do with the Oshkosh Avenue corridor. The council has just had recent discussions about that. And the council, after some discussion and debate about different options, are looking at a boulevard along Oshkosh Avenue, but just to be financially responsible, it's going to take a few years to get that done. We're going to get the roads into Oshkosh Corporation's headquarters, but then we're going to work on the boulevard aspect of that as time goes on. So there'll be a little bit of work in progress, but I think council, when they made the decision, was really about setting up future councils, because sometimes your time on a council is a 2-year term, and maybe you do a few terms and that's it. You're really wanting to set up not just the community for today, but the community for the future. And I think set up the council for making some good decisions in the future by being flexible as well as financially responsible, and I think that was an appropriate thing to do. But now that that decision's been made, it's time to figure out what's next. And it's a great discussion to have. What type of land uses do we want to see out there? What do we want the corridor to look like in terms of landscaping and things of that nature? So whatever's next with the corridor, you're going to see more responsiveness from the public, and that's really where you're going to come in. As we have discussions about the corridor, we need your input, and you're going to see that as time goes on. The excitement is clearly still there, and I don't think nothing is really going to hit its peak until I think Oshkosh Corporation cuts the ribbon late next year. But we're ready to move forward with all the other things. The city's investment in the gateway that's going to be Oshkosh Avenue needs to match the commitment that Oshkosh Corporation has made to our community. And I think that's the vision that the council set for us, and that's what we're going to follow through on. So I'm excited to see what that future brings and appreciate all the input that you've given us so far, as well as the input you're going to keep giving us throughout 2018. And of course, another big topic, and somebody said over there, the herd. Well, it's the Menominee Nation Arena. It's the building and what it means. The herd is the largest and most well-known tenant in there, but there are so many uses. I had an opportunity to attend a concert last Friday night, and it was just wonderful that there were over 2,000 people there for a high school choir and orchestra concert. And if you weren't there, you missed a great concert. All the parents and family members were so excited, but it really showed how the community can come together for different types of events where maybe we didn't have that right venue. It was a great venue to have that event. And I think what the arena also symbolizes is what can happen in our central city. And we're looking at the central city redevelopment and really beyond that. And this is where people they talked about the herd, but then they moved off. What's next? And it was exciting to hear some of the dreams and thoughts that people think are next in this realm.
One of the bigger things is obviously the Menominee Nation Arena. Go Herd.
We got professional basketball back in Oshkosh, but the third time started with the Oshkosh All-Stars way back, and then we had the Oshkosh Flyers, the CBA, and now the herd.
We're excited to see the development on the south side of the river with a new arena for the herd, and we hope that kind of investment and development will continue to happen in our community.
There's been a lot of things obviously going on in the city in the last 5 years, from finishing lighting up the bridges and working on the Riverwalk.
It gave us a sense of growth, a sense of renewal, and that we are moving in the right direction.
There's some good momentum going on in that whole vicinity, so it'd be great to see further development along that corridor and the Riverwalk area down there where the Pioneer used to be.
South Main Street now with the arena there, there's a microbrewery that's opened up there, and restaurants are starting to open up in that area again.
The revitalization of the downtown YMCA, the Howard being restarted.
Oshkosh always has something going on between the new arena and the Howard that's coming up. There's plenty of event places, especially like the Grand.
Love the library. That was one of the reasons we made a choice to move into River East, because it is walkable.
One of the things that I think I would really like to see is further development of bicycle paths, places where people can do outdoor activities.
We are Oshkosh on the water, so we really need to look at that, and we really need to figure out how can we continue to really enhance that image, because that lakefront is gorgeous, the riverfront is gorgeous, and we need to really utilize that.
What was really reassuring there, thank you. What's really reassuring is the comments we got. People are already looking past the arena. The arena is there, we're excited about it, but there's still so much more that can be accomplished. And we've made progress, now we need to just follow through on those. But I want to talk about a few developments, because these are not all about the city. The city's involvement sometimes is very minimal. Sometimes it's just us about issuing building permits and maybe getting some roads done. But the first one I want to talk about is the YMCA. The commitment that the YMCA has made to our downtown area cannot be understated. That is a facility that draws people, that adds to the quality of life in the downtown area. There are plenty of people that have patronized the 20th Avenue Y. It's been great for the west side of town. The commitment that the Y's made with what they've done is just wonderful. And the example of what a catalyst that they serve, all you have to do is look across the street from the YMCA, the old Eagles Club. For some people may have said, what's the Howard? The Howard is the old Eagles Club that's getting refurbished. We're so excited that families come forward, Ron Johnson's families come forward to get this redone. And the mayor and I, a couple weeks ago, had a chance to take a tour of it. For those of you who've been there before, you're going to see a lot of it restored to its old glory. It's going to start serving clients this summer. The council just issued a liquor license to them last week, so they're going to have a great location, and it's going to be something that we're all going to enjoy, whether you're going to a party or hosting a party there. It's going to be a great place. The bowling alley's coming back as well. The work they've done on that is phenomenal. So there's great before and after pictures you see here, but that is part of it. Once somebody makes a commitment, other people start to make those commitments, and that's what we're talking about. What's our end of the bargain? Washington Avenue. How many people live on the east side and are, thank God we're getting Washington Avenue done? Okay, Chancellor lives over there on Washington Avenue now, so he knows the drive to work will be a little inconvenient this year, but after this year it'll be a smooth drive. And Washington Avenue is a gateway for people to get to Menominee Park. So many events that we put on. So it was very important that we get that done. But we also had to get Court Street done because there's a little thing called storm sewers that the water has to get off of Washington and down to the river. And so while there will be a great deal of inconvenience this summer, the final product, when the Howard's done and the Y's already done, it's going to be a wonderful gateway to the east side of town. And then you heard a lot of folks talk about things on the south end of town with the Sawdust District, the old Miles Kimball building. The option on that building was granted before I started 10 years ago. And to finally see that building and see what it can become, look at the pictures there. That's what they're going to do with that building. And I can't thank Oracular enough for showing their faith in the central city that they want to go. So anybody who's involved in projects in the downtown, let's give them a hand because they are the ones making this possible. You saw Third Ward Brewery in some of the photographs. You saw the Granary, and we all have memories of the Granary. These are projects that small business people take a chance because they've seen some success. And that's what we're going to see in the future. They're fueling one another, and the city has made investments. The Riverwalk is certainly one of them, and that's bringing people down there. This year, the Riverwalk is going to continue on the west of Oregon, and we're finally going to have the bridge to somewhere because the bridge is going to be connected this year. So, but yes, you like that, huh? Okay, thank you, Sarah Palin. But the city's made these investments, and now it's time for others to make investments too, and we've already seen that. We need to prove to them that their investments, that people have put their trust in downtown Oshkosh, we need to let them show that their investment's been worth it. And it does. It creates so much synergy. And we've been moving in the right direction, and we're going to continue to get this done. Another project you're going to see this year is South Oregon Street. It's just getting started. The council just awarded the bids. That's going to be a 5-year project. So there'll be a little patience. This year it'll be 8th to 16th on Oregon Street. So there'll be a little bit of inconvenience out there, but eventually the whole idea is to get Oregon Street all done. Multiple years I've talked about the Pioneer property, and I really felt for many years that was going to be a catalyst for all these things. But clearly that hasn't been the case. But I truly believe that now some of these projects we have going, they'll be the catalyst to get the Pioneer going. And that's going to take time. That really is one of those things where the stars really have to be in alignment. Kind of like what they were with the Buckstaff property and the Menominee Nation Arena. We have to wait for those opportunities to present themselves. So I just preach patience with that. I've preached it for a long time, but it's important. But that's all because of people willing to put trust into our community. It's not just the city, it's our entire community. And these are things that our residents are proud of. And these are the types of things that also make Oshkosh attractive as a place to visit, work, play, go to school, all those things. But according to some of the people we talk to, we have a great package, but we need to sell it a little better. And that's one of the themes that we want to talk about. And part of that has to do with being a welcoming community. So let's hear what people had to say.
Talent development and retention, which is a big focus here. We have lots of need for more talent in this region. And one of the things we think is a key to drive talent to the region is to increase the diversity of the community. So we are looking for ways to be a more inclusive and welcoming community.
It's important that we continue to make Oshkosh a place where all people are welcome. and can bring what they have to offer in terms of employment and civic participation, and that Oshkosh is truly an open community that accepts and welcomes all.
More diversity is better, and I love to see different opinions and different mindsets and different ways of growing up and different places that people have been. I love to see that all be brought into a community.
Fit Oshkosh does a really nice job of integrating some good education and getting some information out about how we can be respectful to different communities, different people.
We're moving in the right direction as long as we just keep taking steps, even be it that they're baby steps. If we keep moving towards that, we're going to be okay.
What I envision for the future for my children is to have a city that is more inclusive, a city that shows them a lot of different experiences.
It's fun to see how Oshkosh has turned out to be a place that's welcoming to those who are first-generation Americans.
We really need to think about how do we promote ourselves and to utilize that.
We just started the Oshkosh Community Success Coalition in the last year. That's between the Community Foundation, the city, the school system, and the university. And we're really throwing a lot of great ideas that we hope to move things forward.
Thank you. If we want to be truly successful, we need to be recognized, not just within the city, not just within this area or region. We need to be recognized nationwide as a welcoming community. That is such a huge part of it. I remember growing up, you used to hear, and if anybody my age used to hear, you go where the work is. And that certainly was something that was advice that was given to me when I was young. That doesn't necessarily apply anymore. People look for a great community, and then they'll look for the job in that great community. And we have some wonderful job opportunities here in Oshkosh, and so do a lot of other communities. There are a lot of businesses are looking for people these days. The Oshkosh Corporation is just one example. I just mentioned Oracular. Other companies are hiring. It's a very difficult market. To attract people to our community, we need to be seen as welcoming. And that's where the Chancellor and some of his comments talked about the Community Success Coalition. That really started out as all of us had gotten together to essentially look at each other's strategic plans. And 3 of us had actually used the same firm, so it made it a little easier. But the Community Foundation and the school district and the city all used the same consultant, and then the university had done their own strategic plan. We sat down and said, what common themes do we see? And one of the things that we were putting together, what we're trying to create as a joint community strategic plan, is developing strategies to attract and retain talent. That is a huge component of what we're doing. And we are competing with other communities. And if they're selling something, we have to be able to go toe-to-toe with other communities on that. And being seen as a welcoming and diverse community is going to be a big part of that. It's an economic reality for us to really take a look at that. We're making steps, and we still have some things to do, and I think Council has recognized that with the aging population. We're all not as young as we used to be. As the baby boomer workforce ages, we need to replace city employees, Oshkosh Corp employees, small business employees with new good talent. And Council recognizes that, and towards that end, they've approved a position to work in human resources to work on recruiting and retention of employees, because we got to recruit them, but we also have to retain them. And part of that is also to make people aware nowadays with 2-wage earner households, the trailing spouse is often looking at this as much as we recruit the employee to come to our own organization, we have to consider the trailing spouse. If we can't attract both of them, we're probably going to go 0 for 2. And that's something we have to really recognize. And so the community is looking at great schools, which is part of that Community Success Coalition. It's great schools, great parks, certainly great streets. We've heard the themes over the year. The basic stuff, yeah, we've heard it. I haven't mentioned it yet, but it is important. But public safety is important. But those are the basics. But they're also looking for things that make this a community of choice. And it's those higher level things, and that's what we're working on. Towards that end, and the mayor will kill me if I don't mention this, In terms of celebrating diversity and inclusion, Assistant Vice Chancellor Sylvia Carey Butler and Mayor Cummings have organized a Unity and Community event. And mark your calendars, Saturday, May 5th. Please pray for good weather. You never know in early May what can happen. But Sylvia and Mayor have been working together with some community groups to celebrate the different cultures and diverse backgrounds of our entire community. So it's going to be held at the Leach Amphitheater. It'll be a great day. I encourage people to mark it on their calendars and look for that event coming up. So, Mr. Mayor, did I cover that for you? Good, thank you. The other part of being a welcoming community are some of the basics, and a safe community that's attractive as well. Public safety is a priority. The council has put it as a priority in the strategic plan. One of the goals they gave me for this year was to look at a strategy to try to improve our presence of law enforcement and fire service. We've done a great job. Chief Dean Smith has created a drug and vice task force that's had some great success. And I'm very proud of that work. We don't all see that, and that's because they do a good job making sure we don't necessarily see it. But it's a real issue in our community, and it should issue other places. But the chief had to take resources from one part of the department to get it in there, and that's going to end up having a long-term impact on the street. We know that. We need to do something about that. And then I hate to say this because we're going to miss him, but Chief Tim Franz is retiring after 32 years with our fire. I didn't even have to start that one. You know what Tim's meant to our community. We're going to need your help. It's big, big shoes to fill. And we're seeking input from you telling us what traits you're looking for. And it's not just a clone of Tim. We can't do that. But we do need to know from the public what they're looking for in their next fire chief. And you're going to see more opportunities for you to provide some input on that. The process is going to be similar to what we did when we recruited for the police chief a couple years ago. And we're going to have in mid-April probably a little meet and greet here. Certainly you're all welcome to come again. There'll be food at that one. So, you come on along. But we do need your assistance and input on that. Everything we do in terms of getting public input is really part of our strategic plan. The council is committed to engagement within our strategic plan. And what that says is you're not just part of being told because you read a press release or you read something in the paper or read something online. It's giving you information and getting feedback, active engagement, and that's something that I think is a continuous improvement project. So we're always going to be looking for better ways to do that. But let's hear what other people had to say about civic engagement.
I really enjoy the new newspaper that's come out. I love the fact that it's local and you become more in tune with your own community through that media.
We're doing a better job communicating what's going on in the city, so I think that helps.
We applied for and received the City of Oshkosh Rehab Loan. What a great program that people don't know about. They were the best to work with. And that has moved our timeline up of having a house that's much more livable by at least 2 years. And I like the fact that they're also investing in people who want to move here.
I've been very excited in the last few years to see the development of the neighborhood organizations. I personally am part of Menominee Park South Neighborhood Association. I've met neighbors I wouldn't have met otherwise. So it's really exciting to live in a neighborhood where people are making an investment and keeping up their property, and it puts a smile on our face and makes us all happy to be part of that neighborhood.
We are living in a different time. People are like, I don't even know who my neighbors are. Well, that's on us. So let's get to know those people in the neighborhoods. I know the neighborhood watch groups and all these neighborhood programs have really sprung up.
I love to learn about the things that are coming up, and there's a lot going on. It's been a busy time.
The more that the community can pull together and make all these connections, the stronger we're going to be all the way around.
You heard a lot about neighborhoods, and you heard a lot about neighborhood associations, and it's fun. Every year I get to give you the running total. Last year we were up to 13 neighborhood associations. Now we're at 15, and I'm so proud of those neighborhood associations. Those are really organic developments that you as members of your individual neighborhoods, and you heard some of those stories, thank you for trusting us to seek input from you and to give us input on what you would like to see your neighborhoods to be. So we're up to 15, so maybe we can get up to 17 next year. Let's cross our fingers. With that said, the neighborhood associations are really just now hitting their stride. I think that the best days of neighborhood associations are still yet to come, because right now what they've done is identified some improvements that we can get done in our Great Neighborhoods program that the council is committed $250,000 every year to help improve our neighborhoods. That goes a long way, because it's getting input from the neighbors about what they would like to see to improve their neighborhoods. A lot of park improvements have been done through this program, but other things have been done as well, and it's all due to the input that you provide. I can only use a couple of examples, but one was mentioned in the video, River East Association. Some of the things we're doing with Washington Avenue, the William Waters Plaza directly across from the library. They're working with the library on programs that they can actually have out there in William Waters Plaza. That's going to be very exciting. It'll be part of the Washington Avenue construction, so we'll look for those things, and I want to thank the River East neighborhood. Shout out, who's in River East? Let's hear you. Look at that. Look at that. Wonderful. We got a whole contingent over here. Okay, thank you. These neighborhood associations, and that's just one, and we have 15 of them. The investments are being made. People are receptive to that because people are involved in that process, looking for programs that will work for their individual neighborhood. And with that said, with respect to neighborhoods, staff has been working on a project for a couple years now in terms of creating, the goal was to create a neighborhood report card. And rather than do A through F, it's really more about what's the average in terms of what some of our neighborhoods are like, and what are above average, and frankly, if you have average, you got to have below average. All the neighborhoods have been ranked in terms of 8 criteria in quality of life. There are 8 measurable items. See where your neighborhood is. And if it's in an above average neighborhood, be happy for that. But there are also areas that are below average. And I want you to understand that as well. Because if you're in a neighborhood that's ranked above average, and that's one of my neighborhoods, so I'm very proud that my neighborhood's above average, but recognize that resources need to improve those neighborhoods. The rising tide must raise all ships. And that's why we have to invest in neighborhoods that need improvement, and we know from a data-driven standpoint where they are. And so we need to recognize that that will help all of us if we do that. The mayor mentioned earlier boards and commissions. That's still very important. They are the sounding board. They're the advisors to the council on many important policy issues, and your contributions can't be understated. That's kind of the old school stuff. But we're also working on some newer high-tech things. We have a couple things we want to talk about. For those of you who have already tried it, there's an app called the Connect Oshkosh app. And what that is it gives you the opportunity to give us some input about things that you see on the street. It's run by a company called C-Click Fix, and literally you pull out your phone. If you see a pothole, take a picture of the pothole. If you send it right then and there, it geomaps it and tells us exactly where it is. You don't even have to say where it is. If you wait until you get home, it's a little different, but the whole idea is to tell us where these issues are so that we can look at them. Whether it's property maintenance, potholes, any of the categories, you just put it in and give us that input. And then similarly, and even on the Connect Oshkosh app, is a new app that we've started at the beginning of this year. The company name is called Pulco. It's a Wisconsin-based company, and Pulco is an online survey tool that not only does a survey, but also provides education about the topic at hand. We've been doing citizen surveys for the last 10 years. Part of our citizen survey is online this year, where we've done other things about what would you like seeing done with the balance of Lakeshore. What would you like to see, which is coming out next week, I believe, or it's out already, is what traits would you like to see in our next fire chief? Those are things that we really do need to hear from the public on. These are important issues, but we also want to use it as an education tool. So here's my other task. If you have a phone, and I know most of you do, if you have a phone, I don't want you to leave this room tonight. We have decent Wi-Fi here. Go over and see the Pulco folks, get the Pulco app, and become one of the subscribers to this service. We already have about 1,300 subscribers to Pulco right now. My goal is 2,000. Paulco said we'd be lucky if we got 1,000. We've already beat that, and I want to get to 2,000 so that when we have input from you, it has some very strong validity to it. So please look for those opportunities to do that. We did a survey of what would you like to see for Oshkosh coming up. Some of the comments we saw that people would like to see coming in 2018, and that was the survey that we did over the weekend. Just to call it a word cloud. So the bigger the word, the more important it came up. But you can see there's a lot of different words in there. Development, housing's one of them, and I want to bring that up because the council has given me, one of my goals for this year is to look for ways to improve the housing stock and create housing opportunities. If people want to come to our community, we have to create housing opportunities. That's both single family as well as multifamily. And I was pleased to hear that the Chamber of Commerce is also looking at this as an issue. And I look forward to working with the Chamber and the entire community on ways we can improve housing. And that's just one example. Take a look at some of the other things on the word cloud. Those are the priorities that you stated, and hopefully we've talked about those tonight. We're going to continue to listen, and if you have any other ideas on getting more citizen engagement, we're going to listen because it's a continuous process that we're going to keep working on. So along those lines, we kind of left a sort of a wild card round with everybody. What vision do you want to set? Is there anything else in addition to what you saw with the word cloud? And let's hear what the public had to say for some of these wild card ideas.
2017 was pretty clear about what voicing your opinion can do.
I love what we're doing along the riverfront, but I'd like to see us doing more on the lakefront as well.
We wanted a home where we could walk to the library, to the Y, the downtown, and so I think Oshkosh has a lot of potential for walkability.
I've seen us solving problems that have been plaguing our community for a long time, like the inspection program, trying to make sure that our properties are taken care of and that they're safe.
We ought to adopt a complete street policy where pedestrians and bicyclists are thought of as much as people in vehicles.
One personal thing I would love to see happen is to get rid of the eyesore at the Pioneer.
I would love to see them do something with the former Pioneer in a marina, and I honestly think a casino would really bring in revenue, it would bring in businesses, it would provide jobs.
There is a need for more work and more redevelopment, especially in some of the downtown areas, especially probably more South Oshkosh. But then I look along the Highway 41 corridor, and you know, that's an open market.
I do think that Oshkosh is moving in the right direction. I hope they keep some of their industry because we need it.
We want everybody to be safe, everybody to be well educated, everybody to have good jobs, everybody to have entertainment and fun things to do. How can you not get on board with progress that makes those things happen?
It's an exciting time to be here.
It's a great place to live, and I raised both my children here, so great job, keep it up.
And 2018 is about what's next, not resting on our laurels, and we're going to continue to listen. So I encourage you to use the new technology we have available. Try to get that Paulco app. If you get the App Store right away, you can get it even before you get out of your chair. But it's not just the old-fashioned, it's not just the new technology, it's the old-fashioned stuff. That's why we have the City Exhibit Expo. And it's so encouraging when I see people before the State of the City event talking to our departments. Go back, not just go to the booth where you can put your pin on the map, but talk to the museum and the library. They're over here. They're so lonely here in the corner. Please go visit them. Carla's got the replay exhibit going on over there. It's just incredible. If you like the Lego exhibit, you're going to love the replay exhibit. And the People of the Waters, if you haven't seen that, that's enough reason to go and see the investment that the community's put into the museum. It's just wonderful, and thank you for all the work that you've done over there. Take advantage of visit all the city departments because there's some great things there. The staff is doing a wonderful job. They're such committed public servants. It's so proud to lead this organization with these people here. And in particular, I want to thank our OCMS. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. And if they can make me look good, they can make anybody look good, let me tell you. I also want to thank Council for their leadership, creating a strategic plan, giving us the resources to implement that plan, carrying it forward, and then, of course, the public. I want to thank you for coming to this event that says you care about our community, that says you still want to remain engaged, and I can't thank you enough for that. With that, I want to thank you for a wonderful 2017, and I look forward to some great things for 2018. And at this time, I want to turn over to Mayor Cummings, who's going to present our Citizen Service Awards for this evening. Mayor Cummings.
Now it is time to recognize citizens who have achieved significant milestones this year for their service on our boards and commissions. While we are spotlighting 23 people tonight, we'd like to thank all citizens who serve on the city's boards and commissions. We have about 20 of them. Whether you've dedicated your time for 1 year, 2 years, or 20 years, what you do is truly appreciated and makes the lives of the Oshkosh Common Council a little bit easier. Without them, we could not do our job, so again, thank you. As I read our award recipients' names tonight, please hold your applause until all the names have been called. Those who are being honored, please come up to the stage and wait until everyone has been listed, and then make your way to the corner of the room over here for a quick photo. You can pick up your award plaques following tonight's presentation at the welcome table near the entrance to this room. With that, here are the Citizen Service recipients for this year. Reaching their 5-year milestone, Adam Delacorey and James Michelson, Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. Shonda Anderson and Kay Bauer, Business Improvement District. Julie Hurt, Committee on Aging. Ed Bowen and Jeff Tomes, Extraterritorial Zoning Committee. Stan Mack, Library Board. Mac Laurich, Long Range Finance Committee, and Daniel Becker, Traffic Review Advisory Board. Reaching their 10-year milestone is my fellow Landmarks Commission member, Shirley Maddox, and Margie Davey and Janet Scalpone, Sustainability Advisory Board. Reaching their 15-year milestone, Paul Schmidt, Board of Review, Lurton Blasingame Library Board, and Carol Fenrick, Oshkosh Museum Board. Reaching their 20-year milestone, Terry Wohler, Advisory Parks Board, and Jay Ratchman, Parking Utility Commission. And reaching their 25-year milestone, that is a quarter of a century, Judy Britton, Equal Opportunity and Housing Commission, Mary Louise Lewis, Grand Opera House Advisory Board, and Michael Norton, Transit Advisory Board. As we said before, we're always looking for more members of the community to get involved on our boards and commissions. If anyone either in the audience or watching at home or online is interested in joining a board or commission, you can just log on to the city's website and apply. Now it's time for our Community Partnership Awards, and it's my pleasure to introduce Council members Jake Krause and Caroline Pansky, who will present our first Community Partnership Award.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For more than 90 years, the Oshkosh Public Museum has been entrusted with the documentation, preservation, care, management, and exhibition of material representing the history and heritage of Oshkosh and the Lake Winnebago region. Our museum is a remarkable resource with amazing holdings and leads the way in defining the culture and heritage of the region. Over the last year, the museum has made some major updates and hosted some extraordinary exhibits. Most noteworthy of these accomplishments is the Amazing People of the Waters exhibit. All of these accomplishments would not have been possible without the support of the Oshkosh Public Museum Auxiliary, founded only 2 weeks after the museum's doors opened in 1924. The OPM Auxiliary give their time and talents to support all of the latest museum happenings.
This dedicated organization has played an extremely important role throughout the museum's extensive history. Auxiliary members organize and volunteer for special museum occasions, plan signature events such as Pie on the Lawn and the annual gala. They fund artifact acquisitions and conservation projects, and the list goes on and on. 2017 was a historically significant year for the museum as the People of the Waters exhibit opened. The auxiliary played a crucial role in this permanent exhibit, from supporting the concept process in 2016 to providing generous gifts to make the creation of the exhibit even possible. They even volunteered at the grand opening celebration. We are extremely grateful for all of the support that the museum receives from these passionate and giving members. And for that, we are honored to present the Oshkosh Public Museum Auxiliary with a Community Partnership Award tonight. Here to accept the award is Auxiliary President Barb Schertz and the Auxiliary Board.
On behalf of the auxiliary, the board and officers, Nancy Samita, Sis Martin, and Jane Hoffman, we thank you so very much for this award. Our thanks also go to Brad Larson and all the museum staff for their continued support and help with our mission. We are pleased to have recently helped the museum with its new exhibit, People of the Waters, and updating their kitchen. Please mark your calendars for Sunday, July 8th, and come over and have that piece of pie on the lawn at the museum. And also watch for info for next November for the 7th annual gala at the museum. It's the way to start your holidays. Again, thank you so much for this award.
Now I'd like to introduce Councilmember Deb Allison Osby, who will help me present our second Community Partnership Award.
Community Partnership Awards honor those organizations who support and make possible projects and initiatives to make the city of Oshkosh the attractive place to live, work, and play that it is. Our second Community Partnership Award recipient does exactly that. The Greater Oshkosh Economic Development Corporation's mission is to provide leadership, direction, coordination, and services to advance economic development in the Greater Oshkosh area. We can all agree that 2017 was a big year for economic development. Greater Oshkosh is a beacon of support in bringing major developments to Oshkosh, especially in this last year. Greater Oshkosh was a major supporter for bringing the Menominee Nation Arena and the Wisconsin Herd to our city. They recognized the potential in the former Buckstaff site as a place to revitalize into a destination that would draw thousands to Oshkosh.
The arena has given the city a sense of renewal and has created an exciting momentum, spurring a new interest in the south side of Oshkosh. In addition to supporting new business development in our city, Greater Oshkosh supported the effort to keep Fortune 500 company Oshkosh Corporation here, where it was founded in Oshkosh 101 years ago. OEDC assisted in marketing Oshkosh as an attractive, welcoming, diverse, and thriving community for a highly successful international corporation to call home for another 100 years. We appreciate the support for city projects and initiatives from Greater Oshkosh. They continue to make Oshkosh a competitive city, drawing more and more people and businesses every year. It is our pleasure to present Greater Oshkosh Economic Development Quotient with a 2018 Community Partnership Award. Here to accept the award this evening is President and CEO Jason White. Jason?
Thank you very much, City of Oshkosh, for this award this evening.
Economic development is a lot like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get in this business a lot of times. So as much as we like to pride ourselves in talking about how prepared we all think we are, it's really impossible to always anticipate what projects will emerge that are game-changing projects for our community. Whether it's the Menominee Nation Arena or the Oshkosh Corporation headquarters, the Fifth Ward Brewery launch, or any individual industrial development projects in one of our industrial parks in our community, we have to be prepared to seize the moment, channel the resources of our region, and not let these opportunities or these businesses slip through our fingers. And ultimately, even though I work for a board of directors, ultimately our whole team works for the benefit of the people of Oshkosh, and the citizens of Oshkosh deserve the effort that we put forward. I want to thank the incredible hardworking team that we have with Greater Oshkosh Economic Development. I want to also thank our board of directors, many of whom have joined us here tonight. I also want to thank all of our investors and all of our stakeholders who believed in the original concept of GoEDC and still today now have bought into the purpose of Greater Oshkosh. And also especially want to thank the city for being a great partner and ally of our organization while being the public sector catalyst for the public-private partnership that we are with our arrangement. One of my favorite descriptions of what we do is encapsulated by one of my mentors who once said about economic development that the job of an economic development professional is to protect the growth vision of the community. So I want to thank again the city of Oshkosh on behalf of all of us. We're very honored and humbled to be recognized here tonight, so thank you very much.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce Deputy Mayor Steve Herman and Councilmember Tom Peck Jr., who will present our third Community Partnership Award.
Oshkosh is known for being surrounded by water, and with that is a city connected by bridges. Over the last few years, a group of motivated community members made it their mission to light the bridges and beautify our city even more. This initiative was a perfect example of the community coming together to make something happen in Oshkosh. A project was completed in a big way in 2017. The third and final bridge, the Highway 21 Oshkosh Ave Bridge, was lit last August. This project was not an easy one to make happen, as funding is always a challenge, and the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation took it on.
This project was not only a project of beautification, although the lights on our bridges are beautiful to look at, they also provide safety for boaters, pedestrians, and drivers. The final bridge, the Oshkosh Avenue Bridge, is the official entrance to the city, and what an amazing way to say welcome to Oshkosh. As we continue to talk about the development of the Highway 21 corridor, this final bridge lighting is part of the spark that will light up that area of the city and will continue to enhance the standard that Oshkosh has set as future developments happen. We are extremely appreciative to the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation for the work they did in creating a special project fund to make the Light the Bridges project a reality. With that, we are extremely honored to present the Light the Bridges Fund with a Community Partnership Award this evening. Here to accept the award is President and CEO of the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, Mr. Bill Wyman.
Hold it. I'm accepting this award on behalf of the Community Foundation because we were the fiscal agent for this project, but there were so many other people that were involved in this cool thing. More than 12 years it took to get all these bridges lit. There was Project Oshkosh, there was Pride of Place. They're the ones that started working on the first bridge. But it could not have happened without the city's help, and the city council, and the city's electrical department, and Scooter, We couldn't have done it without Scooter. What about Witzke Electric and John Hazelberg and Dan Cook? They were crucial in making this all happen. There are tons of donors and hardworking volunteers over the years. People like Jim and Chris Larson, Jason Monette, Kate Monette, Sean Fitzgerald, Jay Stoffel, Dan Clark, Sandra Pathenroth, the Supleys, just to name just a few. But there's one person that did more than anybody else, and that's Jeremy Monette. So thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for your vision. We miss you, Jeremy.
What a night it's been. This concludes our 2018 State of the City Address and Awards presentation. Just a reminder for everyone here tonight, I encourage you to stick around and talk to members of all of our different departments, as well as several other groups who play an important role in your community. Thank you again to everyone who helped make tonight possible. All those people who were kind enough to provide us with some comments for the presentation, and of course the Oshkosh Convention Center for hosting us tonight. Here's to a bright 2018 and beyond for our world-class city. Thank you.